Lisa's dating the guy. No, just...
Lisa has a what?
How's it going? I'm Honan.
I'm Oliver.
This is the K-pop podcast, and I suppose everyone has probably seen some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, but we could try and like dive more into it, and I suppose give our opinions on it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to hear opinions, you know, especially on things like dating rumors.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not like really ones to give our opinions on dating like rumors, like the unsubstantiated, just like, oh, this is a ridiculous kind of thing rumor, like Chaewon and Bongyu from TXT, like because he has some merch from IZ*ONE in his room or something. Everyone's like, they must be dating. You know,
that connects. Man, the dots connect there.
Though if that is true, I will, even though he is my TXT bias, I will have to kill him. But anyway, aside from that, please, I didn't mean it. Don't sue me. I know.
Anyway, all in parody.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with the Blackpink girls. As we have the confirmed first. Well, no, it's not confirmed first. Obviously, we had Jennie and Kai before, but we have Jisoo's first confirmed tryst or boyfriend, as it were. She's dating An Bo Hyun of acting fame, and reception to it has been not like, "Oh my god, I can't believe she's dating someone. How dare she?" It's been like, "Really, him? Really, go."
There's like a big age difference or something, right? 7 or 8 years or something, yeah, which is like not crazy.
Maybe in the West, people care about that more. In Korea, no one gives a shit. But yeah. It's more that they don't. He's not very like he's a well-known actor, but he's not well known for having a particularly good face.
He's not like stunning or anything like that.
And he's not renowned for being like an amazing actor. He's just like guy in K-drama. And he also has like a bit of a negative reputation for being like involved with like incel communities and stuff like that. Yeah, well, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, he supports some guy who supports some website or whatever. Like, you know, it's tenuous, but that's the kind of thing that people don't like.
Yeah,
justifiably so. But,
he's got like a bad vibe check for some people.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of like, this guy really like, yeah. But you know, she's a grown woman; she can date whoever she likes. If they're happy, then good for her.
When people are talking about it, it's like, how old is Jisoo? Like 29, 28 or something? That's
yeah. Yeah, she can do what she likes. I understand the idea of wanting to have like a power couple of her dating like Chao Wu or something. I feel like we always talk about him when we talk about dating, but you know, whatever.
I guess, yeah, I can see people kind of always put like these imaginative couples in their mind, I'm sure, of like BTS members dating Blackpink members and everything like that, which obviously really happened in the case of Jennie, but the Jennie, I guess, is the one collecting like all the most handsome boyfriends in the world, from like Kai to V.
She's done all right so far, yeah. And then the same can't really be said for Lisa. I mean, okay, we don't know officially that they're dating.
I'm not here to boyfriend shame anyone. I know people fall in love with who they fall in love with. I was surprised would be my reaction, I guess, was like, I was seeing who they're dating. I was like, okay, Jisoo's dating like this. He's still a hot dude or whatever.
Still a handsome guy.
Yeah, and then like the Jennie's boyfriend is obviously V from BTS. So do I need to see anything?
I'm still unconfirmed, mind you, but yeah.
Yeah, they're all. I think the only one confirmed is Jisoo, right? Like this is all like rumor.
So Lisa's been like hanging out with this guy a lot, right? They've gone on holidays together, on trips together. Like every time it seems like Lisa's doing some brand or promotional event, this guy's there, and it does make sense given that he's the CEO of Tagoya, right? Like he is a well-known watch timepiece fashion brand
His
CEO.
father's like the second richest man in the world, or some crap like that, or one of the.
Yeah, Arnold, yeah. Like the Arnolds in general are a rich,
Yeah,
rich
they own like Louis
dynasty.
Vuitton and stuff right now. Is
Hmm.
what I was like. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
insane,
yeah.
man.
Like this guy is like the token like son of a super rich billionaire who just gets put in
Mm.
positions of power and is just like a French playboy basically.
Yeah, everyone. I don't. Lisa is wealthy and famous
Yes,
and stuff. So
she
it's like
is.
it's not like people are talking about like dating like a billionaire or whatever and stuff. It's like Lisa doesn't really have to date anyone who has money
She's
or
not wanting
anything.
the money,
Yeah.
no.
So it's
Um,
like she probably really just likes the
she maybe
fucking
just
dude.
likes the guy, yeah.
God
I
forbid that
mean,
someone who isn't Brad Pitt or something.
God, imagine the scenes if she was dating Brad Pitt. Um, yeah, well, he's. I mean, I think I read that he was like a pianist or something as well. So maybe there's like an appeal to her musical sense or something. Maybe he can fucking throw it back and twerk like a goddamn icon.
Some
Like
people just have incredible personalities and charm.
Riz, as the kids are calling
Riz,
it.
yeah, Riz is the kids call it
He's got
today.
that fat dub Riz.
So
Yeah,
there are handsome people who are cardboard, and normal looking people who have the riz of someone twice as good looking as them.
yeah.
So
However, if it's not true and they are just friends and hanging out all the time, then that's hilarious.
that is pretty funny. They're just
Because
playing
the dude's
PUBG on mobile together in the
she's
airport.
like she's gonna have to like publicly friend zone the dude. Or something to deny it or whatever, and he's gonna be there like, yeah, we're just good friends. I'm really happy about it. Yeah, yeah. That would
It's
be hilarious, but
Lisa's smart. I don't feel like she would just like get publicly seen all over the place just hanging out or whatever, like as like a I don't know.
I just think it's worth noting that a lot of this stuff has started popping up around the time that we're expecting news on their contracts, right? Like maybe there's like this whole thing of like, oh, they've come to the end of their contract and they want to start living more open private lives, if that makes sense, like doing stuff and not being trying to hide it and whatever.
Maybe Lisa's like, I'm dating, I'll break up if you pay me a shit ton of money.
She's probably gonna come back and have him buy YG or something. Like he could do it. Like yeah, there's money in that. And then I guess the other rumor is still a rumor, but certainly when you look at the evidence, it seems pretty compelling, and the response to it has been very way more over the top than I thought it was going to be, which is Joshua from 17, who has kind of been called out for dating a commoner, like a non-celebrity, via a whole series of, it's those things that start out, you're just like, okay, this is bullshit. Like two people are wearing the same bag or whatever. But then you start seeing like he's clearly at the same place at the same time,
yeah, it's like
and
the same event.
You're like, oh, okay, like, and it's been going on for a while, like a few years. And fair play, like, she's gorgeous, and like, so
God
he.
forbid he date a filthy casual. Okay, how dare he doesn't date another idol?
So, I mean, I thought Carrots in general were more chill than this, to be honest. And I thought, especially at this point in 17's career, that they would be more relaxed about it. Like, okay, fair enough. You're like, you guys are. Well, I guess none of them are fully in military age, and that kind of is often the boundary. Like once they come back from the military, okay, now you can get your girlfriends or whatever, that kind of thing.
It's all a ridiculous idea of like when it's okay.
I know. Like... It's very silly. But yeah, there's been the whole shebang. We've had protest trucks and aplenty. We've had protest Porsches, which is a new one.
That's like
I didn't know that was a service.
Your wealth in your protest or something. Like
so like obviously the truck makes sense because you can whack a message on the side of it, and the messages of everything calling from him to stop lip syncing to get fully removed from the group, and then. Just like dudes driving around in Porsches outside Hybe's building, like, yo.
I guess the idea is a Porsche catches your eye.
Yeah,
Like,
certainly would do that.
so you see
Um,
the message?
yes, there's yet to be an official response or anything like that. Um, and yeah, just a bit sad. I don't know, but
He's
yeah, and also
seventeen.
the real downside is that the girl, because her Instagram was public, and that was how this stuff found, is that she's been getting all the comments and stuff you would expect as a result of it, which obviously isn't
In her
nice.
mind, she probably thought like, how no one's like a crazy enough sleuth to find my Instagram or whatever, right? Like to find
Oh yes, they are.
like God, how?
Yeah.
Like how did anyone figure that out? Like when you're
Well,
following this girl's like
well,
Instagram.
I imagine it starts as just like, someone who happens to be friends with her and is also a fan sees the picture and goes, "Wait a minute, I recognize that," and then something like that. Maybe I don't know.
It's all so
The other
creepy
thing is
sometimes. Like
the thing that does make me kind of go, "Ooh, this is maybe a bit naughty," is that there's a suspicion based on some backgrounds and things from lives and stuff that he's done that he might have spent his quarantine time or like COVID time at hers instead, which would have been of like violating the COVID rules and stuff
how do
because
people
they're not from
know
the same
that?
household. Because like the background is different. I don't know, dude. Like, but anyway, if that's true, then I can understand that. That's something that obviously is not good, and he shouldn't have done that. But it's not really related to necessarily to. I don't give a shit that he has a girlfriend, but
Yeah.
don't break those rules, isn't
it's,
it?
it's it's not as
But
bad as like was it from TVXQ being caught
no,
in the club after hours and running away from the police.
running out the back door of a bar. It's not as bad as that.
Oh man,
Um,
that one was
his recent
wild.
album, incidentally, Michael Smack, beautiful stuff.
Nice. I'm glad he's
But
able
anyway,
to recover from what
um,
was one of the funnier incidents I read of the.
there's a very comical image.
Sorry if there is a weird cut from the Blackpink dating news. We are. I had to go put a boat cover on, as you do typically in California.
Had to. It
Had
was
to.
very.
Yes, it was
It was a
very
pressing
important.
issue. Yeah.
There's cord busting through my room to look me dead in the eyes and be like, "You need to come help me right now."
Yeah. If that's why it looks like I've aged several years, that is why.
It's been 3 months since the
Yeah.
cut from that
Yeah.
to here.
It feels like it. Um, and what also feels like 3 years is how long this 50-50 thing is dragging on.
Yes.
It's like the last we heard, they went into mediation because the court was like, "This is stupid. You guys need to sort this out yourselves," which I think is a position I can agree with. So they went into mediation, which the deadline for which was on August 9th. Nothing came out about it for a while, and then it transpired that the mediator had extended that deadline to the 16th, which was yesterday, as of current time recording. So no agreement was reached in the first one, and big surprise, no agreement was reached in the second one. So Attract has come out and said that the mediation has fallen through, and that the opposing side, so the 50-50 members side, has contacted the court stating that they have no intention for mediation, so long as as Attract's position is that they want to have a situation without the contract being terminated. So, yeah, it's still a bit messy.
I have
So
good news though. Sabrina
Yeah.
Carpenter's releasing a 50-50.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing because it's like the social media of them is just plodding along like nothing is happening.
It just keeps posting the billboard thing all the time. Like, yep, and everything's still a fucking mess, isn't it?
Yeah, it's surreal in a way. And then yeah, this remix version with Sabrina Carpenter of all people. I mean I have to imagine that this was recorded a long time ago.
Pre-planned a lot, yeah. But
Yeah,
I wonder how,
but
like, if she has any idea what's even going on.
I mean, I know that Sabrina Carpenter she's been around a bunch of different K-pop people. I know that her and Rose hung out. uh, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. And then obviously people aren't sure like what to do. People want to boycott, some people don't want to boycott. Blah 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 blah. Um, I think the sound reasoning is that if you support the girls leaving, then you should be trying to make sure that they get money.
Mm.
And I don't know. It's it's weird. So there's a statement from a 50/50's lawyer. She said the court advised the parties to meet and discuss a way to stay together or separate amicably. The members are willing to discuss the latter. They have no intention to stay with the tract, which has no transparency in its accounts and finances.
Oh, so they were just like, we won't.
There's no,
Attracts.
yeah, it doesn't seem there's any way back. Even a tract just being like, yeah, we fucked up, we're sorry, we'll be transparent from now on, it seems is not cutting it. And
What a dumpster
yeah,
fire.
yeah,
It's like-
it's really bad.
the
And the
point of
thing
this now,
is,
I don't see a good conclusion anywhere. Like
yeah, yeah, I don't either. It's, I mean, the result, the reactions of KNets is just saying like, I mean, they are the members themselves are shooting themselves in the foot by being this stalwart about it. As admirable as it is in a way, they're dooming themselves because no company is going to want to hire them.
yeah, I think they're dooming themselves, and Attract is doomed, and they're all just doomed from their own
Yeah, it's just going to be something.
decisions. Like it's
There's some show on SBS called like Unanswered Questions or something, which is doing like a classic, like 60 Minutes, the 50/50 story or whatever,
Yeah.
the equivalent of that. So that'd be funny when that ends. Maybe they'll have something to say. My favorite comment on all of this, though, is one of the heads who said, what is Mnet doing? Where is Mnet in all of this? Give us the survival program. Come on.
Yeah, and it makes like
We make 50/50/50.
Oh my god, Mnet would totally eat this up, or they would
Yeah,
love
they
it.
would.
Imagine they have like the track CEO shows up and he's like trying to win them over.
Yeah, people have legitimately suggested this as a genuine thing because I think the track still has the support in Korea at least to do basically a similar thing to how obviously the circumstances are very different, but a similar thing to Brave Girls, and basically just have a completely new lineup replace the old lineup, and then just
And they
go
still
on.
own Cupid and all those.
Yeah,
things
so
and
that they
stuff.
still have all the rights.
To be honest, that for them that could work, and for the girls, I don't see any hope.
Yeah, unless they're able to like do something independently, or solely.
Could that compares
the
to
West.
Cupid and all that stuff?
Well,
Success,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like.
Um,
Sorry for the obnoxiously loud Momo. She's also very mad about the 50/50 situation, as you can hear.
she's like, why aren't you talking about Jiho's solo album debut? It's coming soon.
Come on, then. Let's continue. Very professional, I know.
Yes. The I guess in a way it's like it's admirable of like the artistic, desire or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I wanted to be a singer to do this. I don't want to get caught up in corporate crap just to get money or whatever. Like, if I have to give up my whole career because I'm fighting for what I believe in, then so be it. Like, that's kind of an admirable stance. But what I noted is that in the mediation, it was two of the members' moms that were representing them with the lawyer.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like the members themselves aren't even having their voice heard anymore, because we haven't heard directly from the members in this whole thing. We're hearing only the lawyers saying from what their side is, and then it's like represented by their parents. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It feels a bit odd.
It feels like career suicide, like right now. Like it really, it's like I just don't. I don't think we've seen someone recover from like this. I can't think of like a situation
No, only someone
because
like
people were on
Jerry.
Shu's side.
Yes,
Like
everyone was on Chu's
yeah,
side.
there's like
Yeah,
when someone's done something like this, it's usually so unanimously like I'm on that side. And this is just like such a cluster of a mess that I don't
yeah,
even think people know what to like feel about
yeah,
it.
yeah. I think you have to go all the way back to like TVXQ to to see a situation where you had the members who sued, the members who didn't sue, and the company that got sued
And
all
two
kind of
guys like
coming out.
survived that.
But no, but the other three guys survived as well. Like,
Oh,
and
did they?
they
Okay,
had
okay.
They had JYJ, and it was successful. Jijung is still you still find he's still on TV and doing stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Like he's still active, and SM obviously is still SM. So it's like that's probably the only situation where everyone kind of came out okay. Obviously, at the time there were, especially for SM, there were problems, but they rode it out. But Attracted doesn't have the staying power that you know.
No.
So um
It's such a like it's just sad actually, like really is how I feel about it
yeah,
because it's like
basically.
I feel like it's just such a waste.
Mm.
I feel like 50/50 was releasing such good and interesting quality music before Cupid blew up, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, this if they keep doing this, they're just heading in like a great direction of releasing bangers for a really long time. 50
Yeah,
Cupid blows up, and then I'm thinking, okay, now this group's like really gonna actually be something that's staying power when they're competing with things like Ive and Le Seraphim and like groups that have so much more pull, I guess you would say, without needing a hit like Cupid or something like that. And they could have made such a dent in like the US market and stuff. Like it
yeah,
could have been something that really found a unique niche, and now I feel like that's all just gone. Now that's like I feel now there's none of
yeah.
that's gonna happen.
It,
Like,
it, it was such a good story because
mm,
it was like a real underdog story. Like I know that Attract and the Givers or whatever paid a lot of money to get
it's
the
still
song on
not that
TikTok
like
and stuff like
high
that.
level we're talking about, or
No,
SM or
no,
something, or you know, it's like
no, no, not at all. And like promoting a song on TikTok, there's a lot of songs which go on TikTok which don't have the same like impetus. Like they don't translate to Billboard necessarily,
no,
but this did.
and it
And
still does. It's
yeah,
on
still
102.7 when like
hitting.
I'm in the car ride seekers like Cupid still on Billboard like top 20 even with all this dumpster fire of a mess. It's
To be fair,
still playing
I
on the
imagine the
radio.
average people in America who like the song have no idea
No,
about
they
any
just
of
think it's a catchy song and they're like, "Oh yeah,
it.
sick,
But
Cupid's back on it."
yeah, but yeah, it's just such a shame because it would have been such a good like success story, and it was for a few months, and then it was over.
Any chance of like propelling off of it is gone, I think now.
Yeah,
Because things people have such like short attention spans to things, and I feel
with just
like
whatever's next.
yeah, and I feel like they needed to be like instantly in the success of what it is right now, promoting a lot and then already releasing like new music.
The follow up, yeah,
Yeah, and now
not
none
a
of that
straight up
is even
remake.
close to being on the horizon. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's,
Oh yeah,
it's such a
they
mess.
missed the trick with the Barbie thing and stuff as well. Like, um,
Oh yeah, that was a massive hit movie with so much media coverage and everything. Like they could have played off of that so strongly as well. Like
yeah. Although no one in Korea gives a shit about Barbie, but it would have been good for the
well,
West.
everything that was big success for them right now was very like
It's very
Western
West. Yeah.
success. Like, and like UK and America are like the main market of them
Eating
right
it up.
now,
Yeah.
and now I feel like there's zero chance they're ever gonna promote properly off of that.
I do like the idea of some, like muggle, just who like heard the song on TikTok one time. Is like, yeah, that was a catchy song. I wonder whatever happened to the girls who sang the Cupid song, and he like searches it up, and then he's like, "What the hell?"
Goes into the deepest dive
Goes
of
into
like
the rat, comes out of it
yeah.
like, "Shit, man."
Needs like a spreadsheet for a full explanation.
You know that picture of Charlie from It's Always Sunny who's got like the
all the
conspiracy points. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah. Basically
it is go Alice in Wonderland going down the rabbit hole if you don't know anything about it. It's it's just sad.
Yeah,
It's such a
really
lame situation, and just a big waste of 4 really talented people and a really like good catalog already, a really good catalog of music, a small catalog, but like really solid all around already.
Yeah, I guess maybe one way to kind of make it feel better is just to think, oh, maybe after Cupid blowing up, they would have lost, in the classic, oh, group goes big, they lose their soul,
One hit kind of like wonder thing,
and
where
then they try and capture the same essence, and it just becomes more and more like soulless, and then it stops being.
That's a less sad situation because it's like I understand how difficult that is to capture that again, but theirs is just like a waste of everything.
Yeah,
and I feel like there was a lot of money to be made for the members. It kind of just propelling through that success. Eventually, would have found quite a bit of bank, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That is probably not showing up now because of so much lawsuit and different situations happening.
I mean, if they're the ones going back to court, right? I mean, they've got to pay for that.
Yeah. If anything, they're potentially losing money that they will never get.
Like every day in court is expensive. Lawyers notoriously are expensive. The only ones who profit from anything bad is the lawyers.
It sounds like some of the girls got like, I don't want to say anything bad about like their families or anything, but it's like not parents. Sometimes people in businesses like this should not just be like listening to their parents. And they should be listening to like sound legal advice and business advice. Yeah, but that lawyer's thinking
he's just doing
about how he can make the most money. I mean, there are people who can advise in these type of situations where it's their job to advise the best route over the long term and stuff, and it feels like they got advised very poorly. But it's just shit. The whole thing.
Yes, basically.
Every time I think about like what the whole situation is, it's like there's like no redeeming quality to it or anything. It's all just like really bad situation where I don't see recovery. Unless, I don't know, do you think because the song's such a popular hit and people are kind of just, it stays popular long enough, people kind of keep thinking like, God, what is that group like? Or do they have other music and they keep trying to find other music, and the want for that becomes enough that it becomes a situation where people want them to release more music?
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is them just fully leaving the K-pop sphere and just going
like actual Warner America artist or something.
Yeah. Because if it's true that Warner were the ones who were trying to sign them away in the first place, like who wanted to buy them out, then maybe eventually that will end up happening, and then they will just go and promote overseas primarily.
It's kind of disappointing in its own right, though, because some of the music Cupid's not even my favorite song from them. Loving You and some of the stuff they released beforehand, some of their more unique stuff, I feel like would be lost forever to doing that.
Yeah, undoubtedly. But I guess that's why I really want to hear from the girls themselves, because I want to know what their desired outcome is. What's their end game? What do they want to happen?
I think they dug a hole and you can't get out of it now. Like
the lawyer said that like he really wants to emphasize that all of the members are unanimous in their decision and stuff like that, which is certainly something which is not always the case. Like that's not what happened with TVX2, obviously. And and you don't always get situations where everyone backs the members who want to leave or whatever. So at least there's that, if it's true for now. But I do wonder what will happen if one of the members suddenly goes, actually, you know what?
I'll just stroll back to a
They're,
tract or
they're, ma-
whatever.
they're making some points here. Yeah, becomes the new center of a new
If they just
lineup.
rolled back to a tract, I don't think that's gonna end well either. Like,
Yeah, 'cause what an awkward day at work that would be.
and then awkward for everyone consuming 50-50
It would
too.
feel very, very weird.
It would just be this kind of thing like, what's going on over there? Like, what's...
But I guess it'd be like just like a bigger version of what happened or nearly happened with Chen, Beckon, and Schumann, right? They were like,
at least
we're leaving, and then we're not. They do like Leonardo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street, like, I'm not leaving.
There's such a long-standing relationship there.
Yeah,
Well established, and people kind of understood they're just tired of the shit, like after so long. They had such a supportive, long built-in fan base. 50-50 doesn't have that. Like,
no.
it's yeah. The optimist in me wants to see something good happen, but the realist in me feels like it's all over for both sides.
I just want a resolution soon so we can stop talking about it.
Yeah, it'll just be whoever owns that IP for Cupid making money for an extended period of time, releasing remixes endlessly. We'll have the Skrillex remix next year with like.
Sabrina Carpenter's going to be like, well, this doesn't make any sense. They said the song was huge. Why is no one listening?
Watch them just have like every major pop artist release a version of Cupid.
That'd be fun.
The Ariana Grande Weekend Cupid collab.
Oh, imagine the ways that imagine the Metallica version.
Oh my god.
The Trent Reznor version.
Trent Reznor would find a way to somehow still make it feel like a depressing Ohio song.
Yeah. Who's that guy that everyone in America hates / loves at the moment? Morgan Wallen.
Oh god. Is that what his name is?
I don't know. I don't know if that's how you say it. That's how it looked.
Everyone in Korea would love the Sam Smith version, I'm sure.
True. Sam Smith, somebody name is very popular over here.
That's like the whole time I was there. There's those posters of his face everywhere for the tour.
He's doing a show here. Yeah.
Everywhere I'm going, I'm like, Wong Yun's face, Sam Smith's face.
There's two icons. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah. Well, you guys can let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen, even though I think it's probably a pretty predictable end at this point. Even though it started as such a, like, what is going on, what will happen situation, now it seems like it's going to be just like a, well, no one's going to benefit from this.
Maybe we're too negative, though, and there's more reason to be optimistic. I know, we're two jaded old men. We know the music industry.
You know, I'm welcome to be proven wrong in this case.
Yeah.
I would love to be proven wrong.
We can hope.
Yeah. And we are continuing where we left off with the Queendom Puzzle.
It's a different day.
It's a different day.
If that wasn't obvious, yeah.
I think I have the same color shirt, but it's not the same one.
Yeah, I do.
That's what's funny. It's like I do just have like multiple shirts sometimes that are just plain same color, and I'm like, this is the one for today.
I think I have like 4 of these. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good old unmarked plain shirt.
Yeah, plain shirts work every time because who can say anything? It's like there's nothing to be complained about.
Exactly. And if I wear stuff which has markings or anything on it, then my kids are always like, "What's that? Tell me about this. What's that? What's this? What's that?" And you know. It gets very overbearing. Anyway, Queendom. So you finished the remix battle.
Yes, right before they split into the two teams of like puzzle unit. Queendom unit. And then that thing was obviously very Mnet. You know, they had like the people that then get voted out of it or whatever and stuff. Like it's like, oh, thank you. I needed that. I needed that scene to happen. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so the remix battle we had it was like a King of the Hill format, and which was a new thing. Like they had they gave the first performance a score, and then
Yeah,
like
we were
the
getting
next
Halo scores on
like
like those
take
those,
it.
those rounds.
Yeah, like there was a lot of people were really upset with how the audience was voting and stuff, and like saying that this was low or high or whatever. And I guess it does kind of make it hard, like because if you're very impressed by the first performance, then it might be harder to like find that as a benchmark, or like having a good benchmark to know if you should vote higher or lower or something. Um, Maybe that would have even been a better choice. Just be like, did you enjoy this performance more or less than the last one, and then just like have it go up or down like that, rather than
I
doing
don't
straight count
know
every time.
perfectly how they could have done better, but I just know that wasn't it.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, for me, I didn't really mind the ending ranking that much. It was pretty similar to what I would have said myself. So, but I know that's not true for for a lot of people.
I I don't know that I fully agree with the ending ranking. There was definitely some I thought deserved like, I guess the disparity of like the ranking would have been like my biggest gripe, like the difference of it with some, like
Sure.
especially one unit because it doesn't have nearly as popular members, but they did like a really good performance and it's still just like drastically lower and stuff, and it's clearly like okay, well they just don't have like
Yeah,
that
I
really
mean,
popular person in their
it's
group
always
to
going to be
like carry
popularity
the
contest.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that they kind of had fixed almost with Queendom One, right? Where they had like the special, they had like the audience plan, and they had like the special
Yeah,
audience, and it's
the
like,
people who were like professionals judging
yeah,
and giving a big boost into the
that
score
they had
sometimes like yeah.
no, well that was what they had for like actual like the survival shows and stuff. But I mean, in Queendom One, they had like this audience thing where it was like the bodyguards, like they all got
Oh
to
yeah,
vote.
and they
Remember?
changed who it was like all
Yeah,
the
and then they had
time,
like
right?
some mums who came
Yeah,
in or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and it was
But it
like,
made sense because there wasn't like the bias sea of like
it's an
yeah,
impartial
yeah,
crowd, right?
yeah,
Mostly, like, yeah, I think that was a really smart idea. And when you have this crowd, it was only 300 people in the crowd, and like I know a lot of them were internationals and stuff, which means that they're going with the like I want to see my bias, like
yeah.
whatever. So there's gonna be there was going to be a lot. Obviously, with any audience, there's always going to be biases. You can't avoid that. But I think maybe they should have done a bit more to kind of counteract the obvious
I
or the
think
inevitable.
in a show like this, I always prefer a judge panel of like pros
Just let
being
Taeyeon choose.
being the there you go, that would be perfect. Just let the queen decide everyone's fate. Like, do you?
But
They
like,
would. They would all gladly like accept Taeyeon's judgment.
yeah,
Like,
if Taeyeon's like this sucks, they'd be like, yeah, fair enough. Like, yeah. God, that mug never ceases to amaze me. Size of that. Is it? So I guess we'll go. Should we go through them in rank order or like
yeah,
when
let's
the
go.
chronological
Let's
order?
go chronological order that way because
Okay.
I remember seeing it in like the proper order because it started
Okay.
with Nude and like Nana and Doa and everything, right?
Yeah. So Nude was the first one by the team. I'm a queen. Yes, I'm a queen, which is Nana, Doha, Suyeon, and Jihan.
Yeah,
Um,
Nana's a problem because.
um, well, I mean, having said that, like Doha fucking
Oh well, she definitely nailed the
body.
performance. But to be fair, she's the most suited to it
Yeah,
too. Like
100%,
clearly
yeah.
the years of experience and being like in AOA and everything else
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just like, okay, I'm ready to put this like I'm
Yeah.
hot right now persona on, you know,
Yeah.
like
Like
this is
when they
like,
were choosing the teams, I was like so happy that Doha was on this team. I was like, oh,
yeah.
she's really gonna shine. Like this is gonna be her thing, and absolutely was the case. I was like hesitant about Suyeon wants to be sexy, so like okay, give her the shot. But Jihan, I was like, oh god, like this poor little baby, like why are you here? And I was really hoping that they were gonna swap her for G1 when G1 was on was in Dance the Night Away. I was like, it would have been perfect to just
Yeah,
just
yeah.
swap those two
There's
around.
some
But
people like, you know,
yeah,
Yoon and Yuki that could just nail that style as
yeah, they
well.
did that.
Like
Yeah, like Nana's not a strong rapper in the same way. as like Yuki could have done. But either way, I thought it was a really good performance. I thought it was very solid.
Yeah, I think the big thing Nana did for them, well, a popularity boost for sure. I think she
Yeah.
definitely had a big part of the voting of their team and how many votes they got. Because I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
she is like the popular like one,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then just she has a presence too. So it's like
Yeah. She's very
that
good.
she strolled out in that like style they were doing for that, and I was like, holy shit, like, like before they started or anything.
You saw it was like the white shirt and the leather trimmings or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No, I think the performance, the only thing that really that let it down for me was actually the remix of the song. I wasn't a huge fan
The
of.
way they
I think,
pieced it together.
yeah, I think in general the remixing or the reimagining of the songs
The
was a
original's
bit.
so good
The
and
originals are so good. There's
fluid.
no
Like,
need.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You don't need to change like that. Because So Young's so smart about how she puts that music together.
obviously, yeah, and like there's a lot of. I think we've seen before that they have decent room of creativity in terms of when they want to remix a song on a show like this, they can say like, "Oh, I want it to be this style, I want it to be this style," and that producer guy is like, "Yes, I'll do it," and just
Yeah,
makes it
there's
that
this
way.
guy in like the
But
random studio they show every
yeah,
time.
and I guess I get that the original is obviously so like cabaret style that they wanted it to be different from that because they had their own concept in mind. Like, okay, fair enough. But they did this thing with this is me doing the strings,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
which
yeah.
which is okay, but I don't think it necessarily added like a crazy amount to the performance. It looked
No,
cool.
especially to like the original choreography being so good. Like,
Yeah, it's just like it's an extra thing.
it
But
wasn't bad though. It was an interesting like intro the way they did it. I think incorporating it too much sometimes makes it a little bit like iffy when you
yeah,
see so much of that, the entire time. But they also had like kind of a wub wub dance breakdown, didn't they, too?
yeah,
And that's like
yeah,
the typical thing now, I feel like all the time. And
yeah. Just if in doubt, add a would-be dance
yeah,
break.
like a wub wub dance breakdown, and sometimes it works. In this case, it's not like it wasn't bad or anything. It's just like I expect it now, so it's like a
Sure, yeah, it didn't really catch you off guard with anything.
no.
But yeah, I think I agree. Like it didn't give me any kind of like, oh, that was unexpected and cool, but it was just like, oh, this is a really well executed
Because they
performance.
did it really smooth and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't, because sometimes those breakdowns, because someone doesn't have like the power in the movement or something, is like very lackluster. But it wasn't like that. Like they had the right
Yeah,
in it.
I,
So.
I will say that like the power that Doha has and like the presence that Nana has, Jihan did pretty well given the changing concept for her. I think I didn't notice Ian like at all when I was watching it. Like my eyes are just immediately drawn to Doha and Nana. Like it's
She
yeah.
just is that like style. Like you can like you put her in that style of song and she's gonna like I feel like AOA members in general, like if you put them in a song like that, they're gonna grab your attention because they're like so well prepared for that. Like,
Yeah, they've been in those trenches for years. They've got their medals. Yeah. Um. So then second was fighting. Yeah, yeah.
I really liked this one, and I thought it
Yeah.
deserved like to be really close in rank to the first performance of Nude because um it's supposed to be fun, like watching a performance, and I felt like they have given like the most fun performance out
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
everyone, and like the concept of it, and like the way it was really the whole time I was like a big smile while watching that one.
Right.
So it was
Right.
like I was disappointed in kind of the huge gap of like disparity between the vote of that one to like
I mean, it was 13 points. I wouldn't say it was a huge gap.
was it 13 to the first one?
Yeah. So Nude got
Oh, you know
got two
why though?
got
Because when I was
222.
watching it, I didn't know what the final
Right.
rankings
Okay.
were gonna be, so I was thinking like, oh shit, this is gonna be like bottom of the like barrel.
No, no.
I'm remembering
So-
now because the Nude got first.
Yeah, so
Okay,
yeah,
that's
we
right.
can
That's
say
right. That's right.
we can say the rank after each one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so Nude got first with 222
So that
points,
one did get
and
the
Fighting
closest then.
got second with 209
Okay,
points.
that one did get the closest then.
Yeah,
I
and
think at the moment I thought it deserved first was like my big like kind of
yeah,
problem with it.
at first I didn't mind it at all, and then I think when when I rewatched the performances, I started thinking that I enjoyed Fighting more.
Yeah.
So the team for Fighting was Sujin, Ellie, Yuki, Juri, and Jiwoo.
They all just did such a good job, especially like the concept at the beginning of it when they're all like
It's like doing
working.
whatever in the
Yeah.
office, yeah, just hanging out, yeah, yeah. I think it was a really fun stage. Like that, like I say, they really suited. They had a very clear concept that they kept going through the whole time, and the song itself is obviously so fun. It just lends itself perfectly to that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
do just like that
a party
song a lot, which plays
performance.
into a bit of the bias, like they're
Yeah.
enjoying the performance.
Um. Yeah. No, I think it was very solid. That was certainly where like Ellie and Julie were really like standing out for me. I think before I talked about like how Ellie was going to come into her own more in the show and stuff,
Yeah.
and like here she started showing like her vocal chops and like generally just doing a good job as well in the performance.
It's with Judy, it's not like she has like the strongest abilities of like everything. It's just like so
Just the
enjoyable to
character.
like it's
Yeah.
and there's something like so fun about her, so it's like you
She
end up
really
enjoying.
embodies the like Japanese idol type.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like she's just fun to watch. She might not be the strongest dancer or the best singer. I mean, she has a really nice singing tone, but
She
like,
does, yeah.
it's just she's just fun to watch, and she really like the way she was like throwing her glasses and stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
set in the front. So it was just yeah, it was just fun.
Ellie was
Um,
definitely the MVP of like
yeah,
that performance.
I like how they incorporated the name as well. So their team name was Biceps, which is Idukun in Korean, and like so the original song is they say like Uri Busuksun, which is the name of the subunit. They say Uri Idukun, so it's like our biceps. Like, it makes it more it's like
just
a
like a
fun
funny play on
touch.
words and stuff.
Yeah, just yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Probably would have been my deserved first, but like I said, I wasn't mad about Nude winning, but
No, I think at the moment I thought, and I still do, thought that was like the number one, and just that one being right after Nude and then being not, and the number one I think was like my problem with the ranking at the time, but
yeah.
I would still
What
get
I
it
will
number
say,
one.
and I'll say this about the whole round. I think these were a really strong selection of performances.
Yeah.
Like
No,
these were very much these really felt like Queendom's level performances. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like when we were talking about Queendom 2, we often were talking about how some of the stages were disappointing or like underwhelming compared to Queendom 1. But here I think they really like lived up to the name, right? Like these were really good stages, like from first to sixth. So
Yeah, no one like bombed or anything.
uh,
Everyone was just really on it and really like nailed their performances, which is always you love to. That's how I want every round to be, where I
yeah,
don't
just everyone's smashing
care
it.
like who wins or anything. I just want like everyone to be killing it and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like what happened in the first Queendom, right? Like it was like no one really made any
Yeah.
huge mistakes. There wasn't anything that stood
And
out.
everyone
Like
was always just kind of like, okay, Mama Moo's gonna like dump this.
yeah, I
out.
mean the only mistake I can remember is Solar like falling over a
Yeah.
bit. Remember, like he like wobbled once, and it was like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like and that was it, you know. So yeah, just yeah, good stuff all around.
That
so
one
then,
was the best in my opinion, but
Yeah.
so that one got second.
yeah, and then the third one that was shown chronologically was the shutdown performance, which was Rina, Sanga, Fai, and Fisa.
Okay, listen. I don't know when it happened, but we know I'm like a huge Rena simp right now. I don't know what occurred throughout the
Rina
process of
and her
this
linebacker shoulders.
this show. So I thought she killed it. I enjoyed this one. To be fair, Blackpink is just one of those ones. Every time I see someone performing it, it's so hard for me to get into it because it's like so dependent upon the texture and color of the Blackpink members. Like
Yeah.
the Lisa, Jenny, Rose. I've never heard anyone who could like encapsulate the four of them when they cover their music, especially Rose, because you're just not gonna do it. Just don't even
Yeah.
try. You're not gonna be like hitting those Rose
No.
parts like Rose does. It's just
It's
not.
yeah, it's like even if you sing the same notes, it's just about the delivery and the tone and everything, and that's
Yeah.
like that's what YG makes or looks for, right? Like that's what they train their artists
That
for. Like
unique like
they want something
texture.
that stands out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how technically good it is. It's just they want something that's instantly, uniquely recognizable.
The rap
So,
parts
I get it.
are so hard with Blackpink too, because it's not like it's the best rap or anything like that. It's just the like you have to have the swag or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you just have to like. Lisa has like this I don't give a fuck like kind of thing going on in YG rap.
Lisa raps with the confidence of someone who truly believes she's a phenomenal rapper.
Yeah,
You know?
that's like it's that it's got to be that kind of style.
And and that idea that is so prevalent in like Korean society in general of like always, oh, I'm not good, I can do better, I will better myself kind of thing. Like you need to leave that behind.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like,
at the door.
like Sanga is a good rapper. Like she's like technically she's proficient, and I think when the confidence that she shows on stage, it feels like she is trying to put confidence on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's like, okay, how can I act confident? What gestures and things can I do to appear confident? And it doesn't quite come off. And like it's enjoyable to watch and everything like that. But it just makes me think that she hasn't quite fully got to that point of just like pure swag. The essence of hip hop in the whitest way possible of expressing that. You know.
I did enjoy their performance, but yeah, it's because of whose song it is that takes me out of it a little bit. Like, it's just not possible to give me that kind of oomph you get when Blackpink's really hitting, you know, or something. Like, it's so hard to get that.
It's the thing that made Blackpink what they are, right?
Yeah.
That uniqueness of character. But having said that, I do think the performance was good. I think it certainly picked up at the end. I think the first couple verses were okay, but then it really like began like once it hit that like YG ending. It was like,
because that's how like Blackpink songs are structured too. Though you kind of have this bit of like and then at the end,
then it's hitting, and you're like, okay, but. That's the thing. Like Blackpink will get your attention right away, and these girls, they absolutely did their best, and you can tell that. But it took a bit longer for it to really start hitting. But by the end, I was like, yeah, like they fucking killed that. Like I thought Fi did great. Like her, like the high note that she added into it, which obviously is not. That's not in the original song, right? Like
no, and she suited it
like
really well because Fi has that kind of like swag style to her,
whether she likes it or not.
Whether she likes it, well, yeah, because they were like, I was worried they were trying to make her like the rapper, and she was like making it clear, like,
I'm a vocalist.
I don't rap. She's like, she's like, don't think because I'm Thai and I'm here that I'm also a rapper doing
I'm Lisa,
Lisa's parts or whatever. Like, yeah,
I get it. Yeah,
it was she's really good though. She's been kind of like one of the ones throughout the show where I'm like, oh wow, you're really like not just there or something, you know, like maybe some people thought she would just be there or something. Like she's really shining.
Couldn't think for Mnet to get it on the Southeast Asia audience or whatever, but which I'm sure is why they approached her. But I do love her like story of how she was approached. Like, yeah, just some guy in my DMs. I thought it was a scam.
Because of her Hype Boy cover, right?
Yeah, I've been very impressed with her as well. Like my trepidations aside is just knowing her as like some girl who did something skeptical in BNK48. But yeah, no, she's been very, very solid. And I think Huisa, obviously, I think everyone has been impressed with Huisa in general.
No, yeah, she's been
like Rina certainly has really good stage presence, but I'm like, she hasn't quite sold me on the vocal department yet. I just gotta be honest. But you know, not everyone in the group needs to have that. You know, it's fine. And yeah, Sangha we already talked about, but like I know Sangha is really talented, and I know it's like but there's just something about her, especially her tone, that I just don't vibe with. Doesn't click with me.
I've been
Um,
picking like MVPs of each route. So the first one would have
oh
been
yeah,
Doa for me, and then the second one would have been God, I said it already. What is wrong with me? Ellie.
Ellie.
Ellie,
Yeah.
yes, Ellie. And this one would have probably been 5 for me.
Mm. Yeah, I think I could agree with that. It'd be fine,
Even though I
obviously.
want to pick Rena just because, but
I think
I
Rena
know.
certainly had a strong shout for MVP in the charismatic or snap performance, whatever one
Yes,
she did.
because
She did snap, right? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
She's got a long body.
That's a description.
That's how I'm gonna say it. Okay, so next was the complete fucking tonal shift. Was only one. So it's Kay and Soen doing doing Boa's only one, which is a very challenging performance for because of the choreography, and also like it's not easy to sing. Um, I thought they nailed it. I mean, like it was kind of like a little bit what was expected in
Yeah.
the sense that it was like it was going to be Kay carrying the song vocally while Soen does a lot of the hard work. Like Soen's there, like fucking working, like doing all
Dude,
the
that
dance and stuff,
choreo
the
thing
walking
towards the
around the
end, the
circle.
walking around
Yeah,
her is crazy. I can't remember like last time I saw that. That was like crazy, like the way they.
that is in the original choreography.
It is okay, like, but they did it so like
They did it
well.
flawlessly. Yeah,
Yeah,
just it was you can tell you could really tell how much they practiced. Like
yeah.
that was very apparent. I thought that someone did have that really nice moment of when they were singing like in a little round, like Kay would start a line and then someone would start a line, and it was like not harmonized but in a round. Like that was really nice, I thought, and like the kind of ad libs and stuff that she was adding in towards the end. But it did just kind of feel like it felt like Kay featuring Soen rather than a team
Like a
performance.
collaborative.
I used to listen to,
I
yeah.
felt like Sun carried vocally pretty well. I mean, considering who she's singing with,
Yeah,
is like
she did fine.
yeah,
It just felt very like one sided.
which is gonna happen unless it's like Bora and
Bora.
Kay together. Otherwise it's
Yeah.
gonna sound like the.
Well, I don't know. If maybe it's just the impression I got, and
No,
it's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
not right. But it felt like like an uneven line distribution or something. Like you'd think that it would be. It felt like it should be close to 50 to 50, but it was more like it felt like it was like 70-30. I'm sure it wasn't that severe, but that's kind of how it felt.
Yeah, I just think that's because Kay just has that texture of voice where you're like, oh, the second she starts singing, or whatever. Like it doesn't take much for Kay to get you like completely locked in.
Because like someone started the song, I
Yeah.
remember, I think, and then you're like, oh, this is nice, and then Kay sings one line, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, suddenly you have a cigarette in your mouth and a scotch.
yeah, just a martini glass appears in my hand. I'm like, I see, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I really liked their performance though. Theirs is hard for me to rank because I also have like a higher standard to hold K2
Sure.
and everything, so it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, you just like nailed it because you're K.
Yeah,
Like,
so we forgot to say the shutdown score. So shutdown got 152 points, which put it at 6th. And only one got 184 points, which put it at 4th. I was surprised because I thought, and this is this is why I realized that there was like a lot of international fans in the crowd, because if it was like an all Korean audience, only one would have won.
Yeah,
because like
the style
Koreans,
of it, and
they love a good old sentimental ballad, especially if it's like a bar song or something. They would eat that up.
if a ballad's executed that good, it's like dub, just like
yeah. And I mean, I thought it was executed extremely well. So I think it probably would have been second or third for me.
I'd put it in like my third. An enjoyment factor and stuff, like
yeah,
because I still thought fighting was like just like the most enjoyable performance
Hmm.
of them. But yeah, that one's a very different type of performance too. So that's the
Yeah,
thing when
yeah.
where you get kind of conflicted when something's so different on how to rank them to each other, because it's like, well, it's not even the same thing. It's like
Right. And that's the thing. Obviously, it's like that kind of song, that kind of performance. It doesn't always appeal, and I get
no.
that. Like some people want to have fun, and you know that might not
When it
stand out as something like
happens
that.
makes a big difference too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like maybe if they went last or something because everyone's
Mm-hmm.
had like their fun, and then it's like,
Everyone's had your
oh, and
fun,
then you get hit by like, but they were like in the middle of
right?
everything.
Yeah,
So it's kind
yeah.
of hard to like rank a ballad in the middle of all these different songs.
Yeah. I guess maybe just for me, like I've been vibing a lot with like emotional music the last year or two. Like one of my favorite Queendom 2 performances was Hyolyn and Min Young doing "To My Youth," right? Like that was like that's like the tearjerker part, right? And it's like that I know that not everyone wants. Most people want to see the fun, happy, cool dancing and everything, not the feeling. No, they don't want to feel. I didn't come here to feel.
I think it would have been better if there was another ballad.
Hmm.
I
There's
feel like
something else
sometimes you
to balance it with.
balance things more if you don't just have like a one-off in there out of nowhere.
Right.
If you actually have like a counter to it, essentially, to
Yeah, and
compare, kind
that
of.
that that definitely fits better in the next round. There's like two kind of more emotional songs kind of paired off against one another, so you have a better kind of direct comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Um, but yeah, one thing to note as well is that their team name was Soulmates, which is JYP's fandom. So there
Although
you
we
go.
saw in the next round, they're not as big as soulmates as Kay. Kay didn't steal her heart quite like she did Hwasa.
No, I mean someone's a bit younger, so it makes
She
sense.
the very next round she picked a completely different team.
Yeah, Kay's she's a busy woman.
Hmm.
Uh,
Now she's busy stealing Bora's heart. I saw Bora run up with like star-covered eyes to
yeah,
Kay.
yeah, I get it. But
Hmm.
um, so fifth was the Shiny cover, so "Don't Call Me," done by the team Mi Ye Yo Wuzo, which is obviously
Don't
just their
call me.
their
Don't
acronym.
call me.
So
Don't
it's
call me.
Midu Yodo Myeon Wuyon and Zoa. It's now telling me that must be in order of age, which is terrifying that Yoram would be the second oldest in a group
I
of
will say
people.
these were the best outfits. Best
It
outfit
was,
award.
yeah, the aesthetic for this one was like the graffiti style and stuff, right? Was it that one or
It was
no?
the green kind of
Like
like
a green, yeah.
tops with like the. It was like
Oh
sport
yeah,
kind of
Yoram
style,
danced on
you'd
the
say, or
piano.
something. Yeah. And the big thing in theirs was the member running
Weon
to get
booking it.
to the other
Get
side before
yeah.
they started. Again.
Why did Weon cross the roads?
That
Yeah,
that was they made a big deal about that occurring in the
it didn't
song
make
and
it
stuff,
full
and it
in.
didn't really have like the dramatic effect I think they wanted it to.
I mean, all it was like it cuts to the group and Weon's there out of breath. Like,
And she had like a bit of a solo kind of like dance thing in between it happening. It
yeah,
was good,
it
but
was good.
it was I. That's the thing is I don't want to say like it. The performance was still so solid, and they didn't mess it up. Like it's not like they
Yeah,
messed up that happening.
no,
That
it was done well.
actual idea itself didn't have the effect I think they wanted it to.
Yeah, I think in terms of the concept of the concept of the performance, it wasn't as strong. I think they looked good and they did that and they had their parts. They did their parts well. I think the song
Yoon just
choice.
has
I'm
a
not sure.
stage presence that carried this one for me.
Yeah, and it's too good.
It's like
I think, yeah, that Yeon and Yodam are so like professional. It was like Yeon's gonna do her thing and Yoram's gonna do her thing, and those two moments are gonna be the standouts. I thought everyone did fine. I thought Zoa did really well in this, which is again, she's like unfamiliar territory for her conceptually as well. I thought Miru did really well. like having to learn all the everything.
Yeah,
You know, I
dude,
thought
the
kind of
sweet
amazing.
seeds of like Yoon being so nice to meet
Oh,
her and helping her to then being like, I'm gonna step on you in like the performance
yeah.
was like.
Speaking of stepping on, by the way, Five fucking crushing that dancer into the ground in that in the shutdown was like she fully like slammed the guy's hips into the
She
ground.
was
Like
ready
good
to end
lord,
that man's career for that
dude was
performance.
bruised, and at least end the chances he would have to get future children. Anyway, yeah, it was really sweet actually. Yeah, and like speaking Japanese to Mira and like helping teach her and stuff. It was very, very wholesome.
It was just the counterbalance of like her being so sweet and
Well, yeah,
nice in person to then on stage being like the most like cutthroat looking like member, you know,
like just like, oh, this woman is gonna kill me and I'm gonna like it, kind of thing. Yeah. She I love that about you, you know, honestly, like the duality, as they like to say. But yeah, like I say, I think everyone did good. Like Weon still doesn't impress me at all because I'm never letting her go for the IMVU thing. I'm sorry, I'm gonna hold it against her for like at least a year, at least until our next comeback. But yeah, it does. I'm trying to think of the performance, and I can remember like mirror information and thinking, oh, she's on time, like she's holding her own, and she's doing well. I remember that. I remember Zoa. I remember being impressed by Zoa, but I remember Yeon like smirking at us, and then I just remember Yoram on a piano, and my mind is blank. Apart from
Yeon
that,
and Yorm together is just such a powerful combination. That is a stacked like combo right there. Yeah. Like you can't make. I feel like
crazy if you can make a group with them in it as a result of this show. That'd be nuts.
Don't spoil anything for me.
And not, it's just the concept of the show.
I know it's the concept of the show. They definitely are two such strong performers.
I think we both said we'd be shoo-ins for our group. Like,
yeah, Yordam and Yoon were both picked as ones I absolutely want in the group because it's like, are you kidding me? Like,
can't really go wrong with.
Yeah, Miru. It's.
I love Miru so much.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Like so that's great. The thing, and like the thing that's gonna be so difficult for her is just like when you do see like a Yoon or Yordam, she's not on that. She can't do that. Like,
yeah, it's like that thing where if you were seriously thinking about it in terms of like a whole idol project, you know, like, oh, they're coming in for a full like 7 years, full promotions, everything, then having those kinds of members like the jury or the Miru, obviously it's funny that they were both 48 members, but like having the personality idol, right, like the variety show idol, that kind of thing, is a genuinely important aspect of a group.
It is.
It's important to have someone who can do that. Like, not everyone in your team needs to be a knockout vocalist.
No, just look at IZ*ONE's massive like success of having like those personalities from certain members and stuff.
Yeah, but for a project group that's going to get together just for songs and stuff, it's like, well, you probably have to cut someone like Mira or someone like Jury, which sucks because they're so great, and I would love for them to have that success. But yeah, like
I do think Jury has the talent to be in like that group with like Yeon and Yora more so than Miru, I guess I would say. Or at least like the consistency more so of like performance.
Sure,
but I feel like she may
get the hang of it.
Yeah, and I would think that's probably just because she's a little more comfortable because she's in a K-pop group and she's been doing it. Yeah, so it's like she's a little more comfortable. It seems like in the process of.
People were pointing out like she doesn't get shit in Rocket Punch. Like she barely has any lines or anything. So I hope at the very least this show will encourage Woolen to give her a bit more. In the songwriting
I guess
department.
It's her fellow Rocket Punch member who's been like kind of shining, the Yeonhee, right?
Yeonhee, for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I've yet to see any real reason why, apart from the fact that she's nice. But anyway,
God damn.
I'm just being honest. So this one got 201 points, putting it third, which I think is. Points it can be kind of arbitrary, but just in terms of the placing, I think third is probably a bit generous. Like I wouldn't have put this ahead
because of the popularity of the members.
Yeah, for sure.
You have Yordam in it. which is enough to really boost a ranking. Yoon and
Sure.
I think just
Yeah.
having them boost that quite a bit.
Yeah, I think just for me, I think it wouldn't be third. I think it would have been fourth or fifth.
Zoa's like the really popular member that's in the show from Weekly, right?
Zoa and Jihan, yeah.
Yeah.
Jihan's
So like, there's also someone else who's really helping like that.
yeah. Look, Weekly have a pretty solid fan base in general.
Yeah.
And so was the Maknae. So
I
always
remember
like
this one that made everyone kind of mad during the live. They didn't think it deserved that ranking. I believe it was this one.
But they thought it would be higher or lower.
That they thought it would be lower because it ended up higher than. I remember everyone loved the Black.
Everyone was crazy about Shutdown. Yeah.
One, so I remember when this got higher, everyone was kind of a little bit like frustrated about this.
Be higher than
but I think like when you think about it, it's to be expected with the members that were in it. And
yeah.
Like Yordam was in it, and Yoon, so it's like.
Yeah,
they're gonna get a higher ranking.
Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah. And then last one was Dance the Night Away by hilariously named Under the Sea, like letter C. So that was Bora, Soyeon, Yeonhee, G1, and Cherry. So it was fucking Cherry Bullet featuring Soyeon and Yeonhee.
It hurts me to say this because I love Bora so much, but this was just my least favorite by far of the whole lot of performances. And I think it's because I'm jaded on Dance the Night Away or something. I don't know.
I have heard that song a lot.
Maybe I've heard it so much, and I was just like, there's so many Twice songs I love more. And then I was like, why do we have to get Dance the Night?
It's a fun song, right?
It's a fun
Dance
song.
the Night Away is a fun song.
It is.
But it's not the most musically interesting of Twice's songs. Like, it's very
I think it limits the performance they could give a bit.
Yeah. And I what they did with it, I really liked. I thought the idea of just let's have a fucking beach party song, everyone can just have a good time, like pop the streamers, dance around, have a good time.
That's what song is, though. So, that's
but
why I think
it needed a bit more substance to be like, to elevate it.
And their big build-up was just to have like Bora do a high note, and then it wasn't even on like camera when they did it. I was just like, what is that? That was like the kind of supposed to be the big elevating moment. They didn't even have her on camera. It happens, and I'm just like, okay, like I guess this is the performance now.
Like I think for like the idea of the round is like the remix battle, right? And I think the remixing of the songs in general they could have made for even stronger. Like I say, I thought they were good performances, but I think this could have led to even stronger performances if the songs themselves had been either remixed more proactively, or if the song choices had
better choices of songs to be remixed. Remixing Dance the Night Away is not a simple thing because it has such a direct style that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to change that so much? It's such a happy style of song. I don't see how you could just be like, you can't just wub away the happiness or something, you can't just
like a quote you would say to some guy at a party in like 2009, the Skrillex and crying. It's like, bro, you can't just wub away at the sadness.
But it's true, you can't just like change Dance the Night Away to change it.
You can't just. I mean, I'm trying to remember what they added like some harder drums, and
they did. Like they tried to just add like a bit of hardness to it. And the dance breakdown. The dance breakdown was good. I enjoyed the dance breakdown thing or whatever. It's kind of like a.
Just a bit mid. Yeah.
It disappointed because I wanted Bora to be given something where she could show like a way different side with those other members stuff, and it was just like, okay, here's a song that clearly they can all do. It suits them.
Although you could tell that G1 was, in pain at having to do that. She instead, But I think what's frustrating as well is that we saw from Bora's intro round and from G1's as well, for that matter, that they have in their locker the creativity and ideas and ability to do some really cool stuff with cool songs.
Mm-hmm.
right? And making them just do like a club party anthem remix of Dance the Night Away doesn't let them show their potential at all,
No.
which is sad.
I feel like
But I didn't hate it.
No, because they were still really
Still fun.
There was nothing I could hate about any of the performances because they were all executed like really well.
Yeah.
And everyone was like really good in their parts and stuff. And
Yeah.
so the problem is the like song style itself for the round that they were in, I think personally. There's twice songs like Can't Stop Me or like Cry for You, and some things where they could really compete with the switch of like those other songs, you know, like where they have that same to them.
Yeah,
and
like
I think
like kind of post Fancy era Twice would have been
Nude, Fighting, Shut Down, and like Don't Call Me. I know there's the ballad in between, but I'm talking about like just those style. Those all have
they're all really recent as well. Now I'm thinking about it. Apart from Only One, yeah.
When you listen to them, yeah.
And
I
get
then
it.
At the end, that just doesn't have the like the hit to it that those ones do, because it's more of a like happy, like I'm in the summer type of like I'm frolicking on the beach.
Yeah, like, which is nice and all that, but yeah, it's not necessarily
for competition, in my opinion.
I get it. Yeah, so that got 166 points, putting it at 5th. Again, I think that's fair. Like in terms of a placement, I think 5th out of 5 out of 6 is fair.
What was 6th again, though?
Shutdown was 6th. So the final ranking in order was,
I definitely feel like Shutdown should be higher than
first was Nude, second was Fighting, third was Don't Call Me, fourth was Only One, fifth was Dance the Night Away, and sixth was Shutdown.
I think the way I would change that ranking is I would put like Shutdown into 4th. I would put Dance the Night Away last. I would put the ballad in 3rd, the Boa ballad. I would put Fighting in 1st. And then I'd kind of have to decide between like Nude and the Only One performance, kind of between each other. But maybe that's just because like Yordam and Yoon just like fuck.
Oh, for don't Call Me, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, like,
I think for me, I would do Fight. Yeah, I think I'd do Fighting first. I think Nude second, Only One third, but like it would be very close between 2 and 3. And probably Don't Call Me 4th, Dance the Night Away 5th, and Shutdown 6th. But again, it would be close between those ones.
We pretty much have a lot of the same opinions on most of it, except for like 2.
Well, we're right about most things between us. So makes sense.
You thought though Dance the Night Away was better than Shutdown? That's kind of the only disagreement I have.
I thought Shutdown was good, but I think especially I have the thing of just like, oh, Dance the Night Away was really fun and I like that. Whereas Shutdown, I'm like, I don't really like Shutdown.
You don't like the song.
Even though they did a good job with it, and what they did with it I thought was good, but I wasn't like, I still find it a bit cringy, like the lyrics and everything. I just was kind of there, like, especially like them just going, the verses just don't hit. Like
you don't like the.
Oh, it's even the chorus, isn't it? Whip it.
Keep watching me shut it down.
I just.
Him on American, you go vroom 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 vroom.
Yes, I hate it. Oh, no, I hate it. It's lost. It's 6th place.
The only part of that song that takes me out of it a little bit is unfortunately that like rap verse when it's like black in your area, I'm scaring you, like the shutdown. It's a shutdown or whatever, because the rap at first is like kind of attacking, then it's like dragging you in the rap. Which is a style people do. I think personally, I always love when rap is just like attacking
I like
in that style of song.
Strong, plosive and sounds. Yeah, like my clear diction.
Because in Teddy's songs, it works so good when like you're being attacked, like constantly, because he's got these loud like pop 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 like horns going and stuff.
Like your music to be aggressive, but Yeah, no, I get it.
It's because when Lisa and Jenny are aggressive is like when they're the best, like when they're just
yeah.
aggressively rapping in your face.
Um, but yeah, like I say, on balance, I think this was a really like solid round, just good songs and stuff, and I wasn't like outraged at the team winning,
No, the
and I wasn't
performances
like
were all really good.
devastated at
Yeah.
all. And then we have a whole bunch more covers coming up next, which you haven't seen, but you know the teams for the songs being covered, right?
Yeah, and
But
I saw the
you don't.
team, like how they
You saw
decided
the
them.
puzzle and the Queendom sides, right? But you didn't see like who's being what in each team,
No, I just saw
right?
who
Okay,
became puzzle team and who became
okay.
the other
So
team.
how about we go through the songs and you can decide who you'd want to be
Okay.
on the team for each one. You have to make sure you know who the puzzle team is and who the Queendom team is, though.
I can pull that up probably, right? Puzzle
Probably,
team. I just hope I don't get like spoiled by something looking it up.
yeah. If you want to avoid it, let me see if I can find it for you. So
Yeah. Maybe see if you have like a. It looks like I did pull it up though. It looks like
you
it
got it
would be.
safely.
Yeah, because I'm just on like images in Google or whatever.
Okay,
So.
yeah, that's a safe place to look.
It would be the all rounder battle.
Uh, yes,
So yeah, it's I see it. Okay. Let me
yes,
open that image on its own instead of going to the website in case it spoils something. So
yeah.
it looks
So
like it's all in Hangul, which really helps me.
okay, well,
I see
so
though that one side has like Judy and Doha and Yoon and Fi and all of them in it, and then
yeah,
the
so
other side has. So the other side, with the winning side, had like Yorum and K and Bora, or there's just the Queendom side, right?
So Queendom side is Yonhee, Jiwoo, Soyeon, Juri, Doha, Hwisa, Soeun, Ellie, Miru, Cherin, Jui, Fi, and Sujin.
Okay.
And puzzle team is K, Nana, Bora, Wooyeon, Zoa, Jihan, Jiwon, Yeon, Suyeon, Yorum, Rina, Sanga, and Yuki.
Okay, so puzzle team is very much has my faves.
So puzzle is your team, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Queendom team is probably more my team. Interesting. So the first songs will be so it's Rush Hour Crush featuring J-Hope and
Oh, I like that
Weekend
song.
by Taeyeon. So that's the first verses.
Oh.
So Puzzle team is doing Rush Hour and Queendom team is doing Weekend. So who would you, if you had to assign a lineup,
I
who would you
can't put
assign?
puzzle members in the Taeyeon weekend
I
performance.
mean, you could talk about it in a dream world, but
No, I get it, but I'll think about it in the way that who can actually be in the performance
yeah.
or whatever. Oh, for
I won't say
weekend,
how many places are there either. You can just think like how big the team should be in your mind.
for weekend you don't want too many because it's a solo song.
Uh-huh. So they have 4, I will say, but you can choose to have more.
I would love to see Yoon just do like such a counter to like her style in that.
Well, Yeon's on the other team. So
Oh, I thought you said she's in Queendom team.
no, Yeon is in.
Oh my god, that other than puzzle team is just like.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let me think about that then, because it's like, if I'm looking at it, because I still have that image up. There's some who would suit it the best, but I would love to see like Judy doing that. It's not just because she's like a bias of mine or anything. I just think she could. It's not one of those Taeyeon songs where you need to be like insane with your vocals or anything like that.
No.
I feel like it's way more laid back.
Yeah.
And I think Judy could suit that like vibe so well, that like Y2K, if she dresses like that full Y, like
I think yeah. You obviously you said it's a solo song, but then it does have that that Taeyeon like token rap verse that she put in there for whatever reason. Yeah,
It's almost like
it's like
that
talk
Irene
rap.
talk style
Yeah,
rap
yeah,
from like
yeah.
Red Velvet, you know?
But
Like
you could at least easily have like a member do that part, and so it wouldn't be
I
too.
want to
You
see the
could
two
you could remix.
AKB members do it together. I want to see Miru and
Mm,
Jody doing it.
that would be
I
interesting.
think them doing that together would be like a really awesome performance.
Yeah, it'd be cool if them and Fi could have been on a team together, so they could have had like
Oh, just like the full
the
foreigner round.
48 G
Fahai
versus the
doing that
48.
song would be interesting. She has such a strong like presence and look. It would be interesting to see her being
Oh yeah,
so
I didn't mean for this song, but
yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah,
in somewhere in
in
the show.
somewhere in the team. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are the two I would love to see doing Weekend by Taeyeon the most,
Okay.
like Meter and Jody, just because I feel like they could encapsulate that happiness of that like song really well. Like
And you'd have it as like a duet song.
I would like to see it as a duo, just because I feel like
Mm.
you split it up too much,
You don't
adding
split
too
too
many
much.
members because it's a solo
Yeah,
song.
I think one member I really wanted to see do this was Yonhee. I think that was one.
Yanni from Rocket Punch. Yeah,
Yeah, I think she would have been really. Would be really suited to that.
I feel like the Rocket Punch members like don't want to be put just like into
Yeah, they don't
a
want to be
thing
typed.
together and stuff too, because
That's,
they're
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
and typecasted into like a style.
yeah. Okay, and then what about Rush Hour?
I mean, come on, I want my faves. I want Yoda, Marina, and Bora in there together.
Okay. Even though they have other songs, they could. Are you gonna just pick them for everyone?
No. All right, let me think about the style of that song, because J Hope and everything in it. I think I want a really just stacked, strong performance, which would be Yeun doing it with someone who can kind of.
Yeah, you'd want like the most hip hoppy.
Yeah, I do feel like Yeum and Yordam doing a song like that together would slap.
Yeah.
Because
And they've already shown
they've
their
already shown
teamwork
that they can.
from Dogolki,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And it's like, I know it's a little unfair because they're so suited to that, but it is Queendom Puzzles to give us like the strongest performances, you know. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want Yuki, Yim, and Yordam in that team together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want
I
the
think
three of them together. Doing
that would be
like
the dream team, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like the oh shit when it, like, you know, when that happens, like.
Okay. So then the next pairing is Lim Young Woon's "If We Ever Meet Again,"
Bora and
which
K.
is for the puzzle team. Okay.
Bora and K. I don't even need to think about it. It's Lim Young Woon. I want Bora and K doing it. Or that's like.
Versus Big Naughty's "Hopeless Romantic." I do, incidentally, I find it so funny that Big Naughty has just become a ballad singer, but has the name Big Naughty, which is one of the most
Big Naughty
like,
just makes you think he's about to do
like
he's about early 2000s like hip hop, you know, and it had like the
boombox rap, you know, like boom bap, like full on just. It makes me imagine someone who looks like Biggie Smalls. That's the name of Big Smalls.
It sounds like the beat's gonna sound like bow wow, bow
yeah.
wow.
It's like, there's gonna be a lot of record scratches.
Yeah.
But as it is, Big Naughty is a diminutive ballad singer.
I'm looking at the picture who I could put in the Big Naughty round.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see like Rena step a little into that kind of zone and see what she does.
Challenge her for the vocals.
Challenge her a little bit.
Okay.
I know you have an opinion on those shaky vocals.
I said it.
I heard you earlier talking about Nana and Rena with like who else do I have here that I didn't pick? I see some like Triple S members in there, it looks like.
Just chuck him in there.
I feel the Triple S members are a little
they're a bit
rough
wild
around
cardy.
the edges.
Uh-huh.
So I don't like. I would rather see just like a. What can they do that would be like a good balance performance for them?
Yeah, I think a very vocal heavy song would probably not be.
Yeah, like a ballad vocal heavy song. I don't feel like would help the Triple S members shine in this show. I do think I want to see Rena do it or something because if she can step up
prove the
and
haters wrong.
prove, she might really get like her ranking like a lot higher. And Nana, I want to see as well because I want to kind of see what is like the limits for her because she's so popular
she's shown how good
and she's shown how good she is in other rounds
sure.
and stuff. I want to see like, okay, here's a ballad. What can you do? Who is your daddy and what does he do? I don't know why I started saying it like I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger from Kindergartner Cop. What can you do?
What a film! What a great film! I love that movie. Holy shit. It reminds me of my first day at work. But yeah, if you're wanting it just like solely so you can see like the full potential of the girls you like,
I think that's
then
the point,
I get that.
right?
Yes,
like,
yeah,
let's see
sure.
what they've got. Like,
yeah, it's not just about that performance; it's about the overall creation of the group, right?
Yeah.
So,
I feel like members who haven't shown that strength in that style should have to kind of perform.
But having said that,
style.
If they're going up against Kay and Bora, then it's like they're gonna get cleared.
If anyone's going up against them, they're done. I don't care. Anyone else on this show goes up against a team of Kay and Bora doing a ballad, just forget about it.
You're done. Yeah,
you just have to do the best you can do and know that you lost before it started.
Yeah,
that's like going up against the rap unit in the J-Hope song I was just talking about. If you are doing that round and you see on the other side Yoram, Yeun, and Yuki, it's easy dub for them. Like at that point, like.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
I wonder if the teams already, but I wonder if they're like stacked that heavily or if they're like very evened out with like.
One thing that's interesting is that the Lim Young Woon team is a duo. I'm not going to say which duo.
Like, what a waste! If we go this whole show without a Bora K duet, it's the biggest waste of opportunity.
The Big Naughty team is a 4-man team.
4.
So there's a bit of weight. Additional
how many members are there for the Taeyeon weekend?
4 as well versus 6 for Rush Hour.
I just feel like you can line distribution that song so much better as a duo than you can as a 4.
Well, remains to be seen.
We'll see. Okay. It's such a well structured song for 2 people to switch off.
Yeah.
Versus like 4 people deciding lines and stuff.
Yeah. And then last one, and it's a nice even 6v6. It's a game of Squad Slayer in Halo. It's Puzzle Team doing Wannabe by ITZY versus Queendom Team doing Time of Our Life by Day 6.
Puzzle has ITZY?
Yeah.
Shit. I would love to see Bora do like the freaking Ryujin shoulder dance thing from.
How do you do it?
I love that video of Chaeryeong making fun of people who can't do it.
Yeah, like idols who are like struggling to do it.
Yeah.
ITZY's golden hour. I mean,
who have I not used? Basically, Triple S members and like, and
I wasn't keeping track, but you've got like.
I'm just gonna keep making fantasy teams because let's say they don't make it in the other units. I would love to see Yordam do a freaking dance breakdown in Wannabe or whatever.
I mean, I think if you're gonna put Rena anywhere, it should be here, right?
Really? I think so.
I understand what you're saying about wanting her to do something so you can see what else she's made of, but like. Come on, like she's so Ryujin coded.
I know she suits it. It's like she could definitely do that whole take because she could capture the whole round, really doing that like shoulder da 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 in the beginning. Da, 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 da. I would say Rena has that like center quality to be like the song starts and focus on me. Like she has that,
which is hilarious because they were saying the same thing about Lisa in Haikyuu, right? Like the two of them, they're like, oh, he's just the queen of introductions or whatever. But like, no, I mean, Rena can grab you right away, like,
which that's what Ryujin does in those type of songs and stuff, and Itzy's really grabs your attention and stuff, and she could definitely do that like Ryujin quality of just like, we're going, like pay attention to me right now, like.
But you haven't but G1 anyway yet either.
Yeah, this one, would she like doing this song? I don't know.
Maybe.
She definitely could. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like. I feel like, okay, her, Rena, and then let's give a Triple S member this one because I feel like at least there's parts vocally that are not difficult. I would not say Itzy songs are like the pinnacle of vocal difficulty or anything for that. So if a Triple S member can't find a way to shine in this one, I would be a little worried about where they can or something.
Sure, yeah, like, okay, I can see that. I mean, it's notable in this one that the Triple S members are split onto different teams as well. So you have Jiwoo on Puzzle Team and Soyeon on Queendom Team.
Yeah. But this is definitely the round or song where like if they're doing a song like that where they just need to have like the confidence and not so much the like worry about the overall ability too much.
Right. Just being part of the performance, yeah.
Yeah. And shining in a way like, let's give an example. I love Itzy. I think they're actually really well rounded between who they have in the group and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's certain members, let's say Yuna or someone where they don't have to be like this vocal powerhouse, but they really get your attention and they really do what they're doing in the group really good. So that is what the Triple S like member or someone has to do, I feel like, to stand out in like a round like this, is fill kind of that void of like, I don't need to be like a vocal powerhouse, but I really stand out in this moment or something.
Yeah, but having said that, like the reason like Yuna is so good at that because like, you know, she's been meticulously worked to be that, right? And
no,
it's not
she's so professional at like her expressions too are like the strongest sometimes in like the group of just being like always on it. Like you can't you can't like catch Yuna in like the off moment on camera or whatever, you know, like
I mean that's what the same is true for Aaron, right? Like it's the same kind of thing. Like Aaron is by far not the strongest singer in Oh My God, but she's so
it's a presence
like perfect on stage for it. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. If there's a Triple S member perhaps isn't gonna be like the strongest vocally or dance in the round, they have to have that like presence of grabbing you.
Okay, makes sense.
And if they're gonna have a moment where they shine, it's gonna be in a song like that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's not gonna be like a limp ballad or something, you know what I mean? Because then that's just like asking a lot, you know?
Yeah,
like And they're so fresh, right? Like they just debuted like what? Not even a year ago.
2 months.
2 months, yeah. So
something
we're already it's
like
already just like throwing them to the fire, like.
Yeah,
so
I think
fast.
from the day of like the first episode, I think it was like 72 days or something like that. Yeah.
It's a bit. Yeah. So I hope one of them has like a big like standout moment for the group because I think Triple S is good, and I actually think they have good songs and stuff. So it's.
I mean, it's definitely Mnet's vibe now, isn't it? To just throw some recently, like we had TOO on Road to Kingdom. We had Kepler on. Like, right, obviously not.
Kepler being in Queendom 2 was just like
that's kind of hilarious.
So fast, like they there's like another competition show. Boom.
Yeah.
Like,
good luck. Yeah, but okay. Then what about the Day 6 team? Who's gonna do a Rocky song?
That's so hard, dude. That's so difficult. That's a vibe. You gotta have it or you don't. I feel like some people don't have the vibe to pull that off. I want to
think
see
what's good
Fi
about
do
that
it.
song is, yeah, she would. But you could work that song in different ways.
I want to see
Right? Like you
Doha,
could,
Fi, and fuck. I want to put Miru in the rock team.
yeah. I think Miru would be like
Miru, Doha, Fi for me
that.
are like three that I for
Okay.
sure want in like a day 6 team.
Okay. What about Ellie? Where would you put Ellie?
In that team.
In that team as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's my, like, there's 6, I think you said, but those are 4 for sure. I want to see the other 2. I just want to be people who can kind of support that structure without bringing me out of it, you know? Like, there's, like, where you're like, God, they're killing it, and then there's this one person who goes, like, oh, and kind of, like, really drags you down.
Rock on, guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think can play and who could play a guitar out of everyone on the show, or at least of the team who's doing that? And would you have anyone play a real instrument in a performance?
It depends, because day 6 are real musicians. There's like a difference between I play and like I'm an actual guitar player, type of thing, you know. And day 6 are real players of their instruments. That's like
yes.
I would guess that it would be maybe. Did I see Fi playing a guitar in a scene or something?
I don't think so.
Who is it? Just tell me. I can't guess it.
Oh, I don't know. Just a question.
Would? I think out of like the 4 I picked, I wouldn't be surprised if Miru knows how to play guitar or some shit. I feel like Miru is someone's like I dabble.
Knowing Miru,
I dabble in the instruments.
She can probably play like some random instrument. She can probably play the oboe.
Yeah.
Something like
she
that.
Pulls a sax solo out in the middle.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? But it's just Baker Street. That's all it is. Just straight away. Yeah. I think with that song you could do it in different ways, right? Like you could make it into like a kind of darker rock song, which is kind of more how Day 6 were doing it, or you could make it like a bright like pop rock.
I want it to be a dark rock song.
Of course you do.
I think dark rock with Fi, Ellie, Doa, Miru, and then 2 who can just stay there with them would be the perfect like style.
I can see the vision. I can see it.
Maybe
I can
Yoni
see some
from Rocket
makeup.
Punch
Yoni.
would be interesting because she appears like almost cute, I guess you would say, like style sometimes, but I want to see her just be like.
Oh, I was straight lying, by the way. It's not 6v6. It's 5v5. I wasn't lying. I've just I've just demonstrated a total inability to count. In which case, it makes it a game of social slayer and not.
Yoni has an interesting. From Rocket Punch has an interesting vocal tone. When I've heard her sing, I want to hear her do a rock kind of song and see what that tone like fully is. Because that style of song is going to make you sing different than you normally.
Yeah. I think the ones I really wanted to see in this was pretty similar to you. I really wanted to see Miru do this, and I really wanted to see Ellie as well. I think they both would have been very. Miru just kind of gave off the vibe of like a bit of a rocker, you know, when she came out.
I feel like she has it to do it. Like
she's got it. She's got that dog in her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ellie too is just somewhat. I feel like Ellie can do anything. Any style.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, honestly, I think she really can, and she needs to keep getting opportunities to show that she can do anything.
I think the more different styles she does, the more people will appreciate her in the show. Yeah,
I think that's fair.
This would be a good one for her to like really shine, because she already proved like in fighting that she could really do that like super fun, just like. But and still also be powerful in her like performance, like
and that she can be like girl group main vocal type. Like obviously she's not going to out-sing Kei Obora, but like she can still do that kind of the necessary work.
The thing about Kei Obora, in some styles of girl group,
they're not going to match it as well.
Yeah, and then the problem sometimes with them is the huge disparity.
Yeah,
because you have these people singing, and then suddenly it's like. Holy shit, you know, like, you're going back down afterwards or whatever. Like it's
you can't overdo it.
There almost needs to
yeah.
be a group of just like Kay and Bora almost need to be in like a Mamamoo style group together or something.
Honestly,
Like
so the thing is, like Kay, like Lovely's had so many great singers. Like, because Kay obviously is a fantastic singer, but like Baby Soul is a fantastic singer, and Sujong is a fantastic singer. So it's like it wasn't like she was just a league ahead of everyone else.
yeah.
And the way that Lovely's songs worked, it ended like it was like it was well matched, right? Like no one. Oh, and Jin, obviously, Jin is a great singer too. And it didn't feel like imbalance. Whereas Bora in Cherry Bullet songs, I feel like you can tell she's not singing like she's not doing like what she did in My Sea, right? It would sound ridiculous.
She has this capability of being like the solo K-pop artist singer who can carry their own thing, and then you're like containing her into a box, basically, when you're putting her like in certain styles.
Fit well into boxes.
But Bora and Kay are those two type of singers that could be in that kind of like Mamamoo type of group where you just have like a powerhouse of vocalists doing songs that really push their ranges and difficulty and stuff. Like,
yeah, it would be cool maybe like at some point in the future, like when they can't be asked to do dancing anymore, if they like can go into like that kind of thing, just be like actually, or like what if they start pursuing music that's more like I don't care about the choreography, I just want to do my thing. Like,
I just want to display
my prowess. Like I mean, like I saw Mamamoo live like a couple of weeks ago, right? And they're fucking great performers, but it's like, and they'll do the choreography, but like it's not the priority.
No, because their vocals are the main priority.
But like they're also just putting on the show, you know. And it's similar to Western artists in that sense. Like if they're dancing in it, it's not about hitting every. Obviously, like Moonbyul is a really good performer and whatever, and like the others are still doing it, but it's not like they care that much, except for in the solos.
Yeah, they just do kind of like the important like chorus choreo sometimes in Mamamoo. Like,
they'll just hit a bit of
and then they kind of just go back to singing and like moving. Yeah.
Actually, God, imagine like a K's harem group. Like you get Kay, Kwasa, Bora.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would just love to. I feel like Kay and Bora would suit each other in a group so well because they could like balance each other so much. But I know the odds of having two such strong vocals in the group together are not like high.
Yeah, unless you're like Big Mama,
Yeah.
Something.
Big Mama.
Ooh, big shouts out to Big Mama.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. I feel like Bora ends up in a lot of like situations where she doesn't have the full range of her abilities.
Yeah, she kind of ended up in the wrong group, in the wrong company. It's not, and like that's not a slight because I adore Cherry Bullet.
A Purple Kiss or something like is somewhere where Bora could really shine her abilities sometimes, but the problem is that you still just have these other girls who are all like crazy, and then how much lines are you actually getting? Like,
well, I mean, I think Gohan has her kind of. She would have to replace Gohan, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, stylistically,
But I see the.
I want her in a group like that stylistically.
Like that,
not in Purple Kiss, but like in that vibe of. Like,
we're gonna have to make our own group. We're gonna have to start an entertainment agency.
Take a loan out. Let's start our agency.
Well, dude, if the money you're making is like what you said it was before we started recording, then
we'll create a. What do we call our label? Ho, like Honan and Oliver.
Ho Entertainment.
Ho Entertainment.
Hell yeah. It could also be
oh,
or we
just like an exclamation point, almost question mark.
we could even do like we do it back. We'd be like, oh ho. We've got plenty of options.
So many options to play around with the name.
Well, on that note,
yes,
I guess that's it.
I guess we did our full review. We set our MVPs, our rankings. We agreed on like fighting being the dub.
Yeah.
And then Nude, I can see it, like, because it was still so solid. Nude, I think I was just like blinded by Nana for like like flashbanged for like 30 seconds, which happens, you know. Um,
I'm relatively immune to Nana. Like I like her as a performer, but I don't like.
Are you? Because I went into the show so confident, like, you guys keep talking about like Nana, like, what's this nonsense? I've got a show with Bora
Well, yeah,
and Yoram,
I
like.
showed her to you like, oh, she's just a good dancer, and then you were like, oh, she's really hot.
So
Well, not like
listen,
that. No, you weren't that crass about it.
No.
I don't want to paint you in a bad way, but yeah.
I think I still kind of have my highest opinion of who's my like fave still. Watching Queendom Puzzle, I'm not surprised that Yordam is still just like someone I'm like, oh, okay, like.
Yeah, yeah. There's some of them like that. It's like the expectation.
Yordam's
is
just
so
on like
high.
cruise control or something. I don't
Yeah,
know. Like,
it's like you're just like, well, it's like, yeah, Yoram's really, really good at what she does,
Yeah.
and then she has a performance, and you're like, yeah, that was really good. Like,
and the
what do you
expectation's there, and you're just like, well, you met that expectation
Yeah.
quite easily. Like,
okay, Queendom winner, Yoram, like,
yeah.
keep doing your thing, like. Yeah.
I would say the main like surprise takeaway for me would be like Rita from High Key being someone that I'm like a fan of from the show.
She's definitely one. Her and Teresa together, I think, have won Heike a lot of fans
for sure. All right. Well, I will continue watching, and we can review the next round.
No spoilers. I'm over.